I think it's good for where we are. I think that all of the players are obviously disappointed with the prior results, but we do what we have been doing all year long, as we stay very focused on the next one. You can only dwell on what's happened for so long. You can take some messages from it and some learning things from it, and then we need to move forward and be very focused on the next game, which I think our guys have done a terrific job all season long. Same as when we were in the winning streak. We weren't talking about the game that we had just played, we're talking about the very next one, and so that's the same mentality for us now. It's all about the next game.
Positive performance against Chicago with a lot of players who haven't seen too many minutes in the starting 11. Were you pleased with the depth of your club in that match?
Yeah, very, very pleased with what we saw from the likes of Rocha and Schuler. Who else played? RJ hadn't played for a while. RJ Allen played in that match. Coleman at a different position than he's used to. A lot of positives to draw from that. I feel like we gained some depth and some confidence in our depth. Of course, still disappointed we don't get the result, but I think we gotta be inside our locker room. We got to be a little more intelligent than that. We got to stay focused on the positives.
Going off the conversation about depth, how much is your depth going to be tested these next 2 weeks with 4 road games essentially?
Yeah, massively. I would think that over the next 4 games, I would be surprised if we don't see almost every player that's available getting either a starting role or some time off the bench.
Who are you looking at in terms of center back apart from who you have right now? Obviously,
Yeah, that's not going to be answered. Sorry.
Coach, I just spoke with RJ Allen a few moments ago, and he kind of was telling me about his soccer journey growing up. You coached him back when you were at NYCFC, and you brought him here this off season. But is there what can you say about the guy? I mean, you're familiar with him. Is there something about his work ethic that you kind of drew you to him?
There's a lot of things about RJ that coaches really appreciate. I think first and foremost is this mentality that there's no such thing as no. Very first time I come across him was actually in a combine, in a draft situation. He got drafted by somebody but didn't stick with that MLS team for very long at all. Then I didn't see him for a few years, and we were running some training sessions in the New York City area, really just with a singular focus of trying to get David Villa prepared for a season when he was 6 months without a team. So we were running training sessions with literally 10 or 12 players there, and RJ was there every time and showed just an effort and a commitment level that really kind of stuck out to us. And so then we had him in sort of a trial situation, and we ended up making the decision to not acquire him and not sign him. But lo and behold, he keeps coming out in every training session that we needed extra numbers. He keeps showing up, keeps knocking at the door, and 3 or 4 months later we signed him because he literally just would not take no for an answer. And he basically won his spot within that New York City team. So, I think in a lot of ways he's doing a very similar thing here, where he comes in to a team that's has an established right back in Sutter, and he's just kept knocking at the door. Then Will Johnson gets an opportunity after RJ comes out injured from a game, and RJ just keeps working, and he's prepared at any moment to play for you. So that's what you love about him.
As you get ready for this match against NYCFC, I know usually for every match it's about focusing on your own team, your own game, but you're going into New York. They're undefeated at home. They've won all of their games. They got the better of you earlier this season. So what do you need to do going into Saturday to walk away with points?
I think it's obviously a very, very good team, and we have confidence in what we do. We have confidence that we're actually feel like we're an improving team right now. We feel like we're a much better team than we were in that game that we played them prior in the season. And we also should draw some confidence off some things that happened in that game. We showed up to the stadium there less than 30 minutes before kickoff. We sat on a bus for over 2 hours in an attempt to get to the game. We went out to warm-ups and didn't even get to go back to our locker room between warm-up and the start of the match. They warmed up on time, went back to the locker room, were out there ready and fresh as if everything was normal. So we were a team that was very much under duress and stress and ill preparation for that game. And we went 60 some odd minutes with not allowing a goal against us. And in fact, we gave them the goals against us. So we have some confidence to draw from as well.
Forgive me if this has already been asked, I had to step away. Josue Coleman, he was disciplined, taken out of the match day 18 for disciplinary reasons. Have you seen him really grow from that experience?
100%. Another interesting case where he gets to start a match towards the beginning of the season and doesn't really perform well. And we expressed our disappointment with that performance. And then he kind of continued in a little bit of a doldrum, I think, for him. It wasn't training that well, and so we then expressed that things need to get better. Felt like things were heading in a really positive direction, and then he shows up 30 minutes late to a game. And so we had to discipline him and say, okay, you're out of the 18. And then I think he's even kicked on further and improved from there. His training habits have improved still, and what he's given us in every single match has been great.
Obviously, a very difficult attacking team, but their defense, they've recorded 4 clean sheets this season. What have you seen from them so far in their defense?
It's for me, it's a team and a club that I think has improved every single year that they've been in the league, and I think that now